The man Trumpifying FIFA, that's the headline from the New York Times, and it's a story worth slowing down for, because what's happening at the top of world football goes well beyond one awkward award ceremony. We're in week 2 of the World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. For fans, it's sleepless nights and highlight reels. For FIFA, it's an unprecedented windfall. This is set to be the most profitable World Cup in history. And that financial reality sits at the heart of a deeply unusual relationship between two men, Gianni Infantino, FIFA's president, and Donald Trump. Reporters Rebecca Ruiz and Tarek Panja have been digging into just how close that relationship has become and what it's doing to the organization. Start with what got everyone's attention, the FIFA Peace Prize. Last fall, the Nobel Peace Prize went to Venezuelan politician Maria Corina Machado. Trump, who had openly campaigned for the Nobel, was not happy about it. Infantino saw an opening. He hastily put together a FIFA Peace Prize and named Trump as its first recipient. Trump called it truly one of the great honors of my life. Football officials called it an embarrassment. But here's the thing. That prize was a headline grabber, but it's not the real story. The real story is how FIFA itself is changing to look more like a Trump enterprise. Under Infantino, FIFA has been exploring licensing deals that would let hotels use FIFA's name for profit, the same kind of brand licensing strategy the Trump family has long employed. Infantino attended a crypto summit at Mar-a-Lago and has explored the idea of a FIFA cryptocurrency, again, mirroring the Trumps. FIFA's headquarters remain in Zurich, but the organization recently opened a new North American hub in Miami, where Infantino now lives deep in Trump's orbit. This didn't come from nowhere. When Infantino took over FIFA in 2016, the organization was in crisis. The U.S. Justice Department had just exposed decades of bribery and kickbacks inside the organization. Infantino's stated mission was to rehabilitate FIFA's reputation, particularly in the eyes of American authorities. Getting close to the U.S. government was part of that strategy. During Trump's first term, Infantino stood by him through impeachments and sinking poll numbers. That loyalty paid off. Infantino got access to the Trump administration, including what FIFA called a courtesy visit with the U.S. Attorney General, who was overseeing the FIFA corruption cases at the time. Infantino came out of that meeting saying he was fully convinced that FIFA's credibility was being restored. FIFA also held discussions with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin about a potential investment in a streaming service. Nothing came of it, but not for lack of trying. When Biden took office, Infantino tried to build a similar relationship. It didn't work. Biden officials kept their distance, wary of FIFA's baggage. Trump's return to the White House has been a different story. Infantino had a prominent seat at the inauguration. He has accompanied Trump on state visits abroad. The relationship has elevated both men's profiles. Now, with the World Cup underway, Infantino's allies argue the closeness is protecting the tournament. One senior FIFA official said he believed there was an informal understanding that immigration enforcement wouldn't happen outside stadiums, though FIFA's own spokesman denies that. Still, the vulnerabilities are real. A Somali referee was denied entry to the United States. The Iranian team faced serious logistical obstacles. These incidents show exactly how disruptive Trump could be if he chose to be. As Infantino himself put it last year, I think it is absolutely crucial for the success of a World Cup to have a close relationship with the president. But the deeper concern among football officials is about what comes after the final whistle. FIFA has rules on political neutrality. Formal ethics complaints have been filed against Infantino. The worry isn't just optics, it's that the organization has traded one era of rampant corruption for a new set of problems, an entanglement with a transactional political figure, and a governing body that increasingly resembles the brand empire of the man it's courting. The World Cup will end. The relationship and its consequences may not. That's the story behind the story this World Cup, and it's one worth keeping your eye on.